YouTube will still be streaming. Like we're now live on YouTube. So say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you. And to all the podcast worlds too. After, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. We love you. Thank you for joining us. Please give us is it a 4-star review on YouTube, or is that all the iTunes and the podcast? How about we just do a 5-star review on everything across the board? Can we do that?
Yes. I want to live a 5-star review life. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Say a quick cheese. Benny, do you want in the picture, love?
We got to get going. So make it fast.
Got done.
All right.
I did it. We're good. Always right there when you need it. Do you see this right here? Benny, look at this. Is that?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Is that like something about Mary type thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope not.
I know, right? Thanks, Jennifer got it. Our guest got it. Thank you very much. That was good.
Oh, well.
It's okay to be late to the party. It's fine.
Okay, that's just for the YouTube world.
No, that's for everybody.
No, that's
for everybody.
Hi. That's for everybody.
We were all engaged there.
Yep.
Oh, welcome. Yes. Silliness in the house, of course, and we are talking always serious conversations, transformation, what that looks like, bringing you new thoughts, new ideas. You know, it's new ideas, new perspectives, all that juicy stuff. So you can then make your own choice. This is a show to empower you, to give you the tools to make those choices, educated choices. And like I say with everything, whether I'm teaching, giving readings, any of my guests, please take what resonates with you and then leave the rest. You never know what's going to hit, what's going to land. There could be a squeaky wheel. Pay attention to that squeaky wheel, because there's something in that soul, in that heart that's going, let's have that conversation. So with that, obviously, y'all know who I am. I'm Sue Lundquist, the host of Gratitude Cafe. Benny, how are you this morning, love?
Not too bad. You know, I was thinking about your whole squeaky wheel analogy. You know,
I saw that. You're yes.
Yeah, my wheels are turning. They're greased up. They're ready to run. My point is, I think you have a really good business if you go to, like, you know, shopping markets, you know, because they have a lot of carts with that one squeaky wobbly wheel. So, you know, let's help them out.
Let's.
Okay.
That's a great analogy.
All right.
Jennifer, is that a great analogy? We got lots of people to help.
I just had this image of you standing next to a cart going, okay, so tell me, why do you feel like you need to squeak?
Right?
Oh, Benny, this is going to be a fun show. We went from Mary to squeaky wheel to, Jennifer is right with us, isn't she? Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, Sue Lundquist here with Gratitude Cafe. New perspective, new thoughts, new ideas. It's a new you. It's all in there. It really, really is. We're just here to remind you. Craziness to clarity. You guys know I've got my one-on-one coaching, I've got my mini online program, and I've also got my larger online program. And if you are wanting to break through some self-limiting beliefs, if you got a lot of shiitake mushrooms going on in your life and you need some help, some real life, real time, practical 3D tools, I can help you with that. It's my passion because I walk the talk. And I bridge the 3D with the 5D. So when you are clear and have a clear intention in your 3D world, you are setting it up for the universal energies, whatever it is that you believe in, purple chopsticks, Gus, whatever it is, it's going to come to you more in grace and ease. And I personally, I'm done with the grizzly bears. Jennifer, are you done with the grizzly bears? I would like the butterflies and the grace and ease.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Totally.
The easier it is, the happier I am.
Yes. And that's a whole nother conversation right there, because we as humans think that we have to struggle through it. And if we're not struggling through it, then it's not, well, if I'm not struggling, then what's going on? You question it. I've caught myself doing that. Have you?
Totally. Yeah. You know,
I mean, this was way too easy.
I'm a big game. I love to play games. Like I have my iPad, right? And I'll play the matching games. And I'm like, okay, I've done this board 6 times. And I start it the same exact way every time. Like, what am I doing? Like that realization alone, I was like, oh my God, if I'm doing that here, where else am I doing it in my life? So I'm like, okay. So now my new rule is like, when I notice like I'm hitting another pattern, I go, okay, I pull what I like to refer to as the George Costanza, which is from Seinfeld. And he
Oh,
knows what I'm talking about.
yes,
Right?
I know
Like,
Benny's going to love this.
I do the exact opposite what I think, my mind thinks I'm supposed to do, right? I tune into my heart, I tune into my soul, and I go, okay, what's the George Costanza move here? And then I do that.
Oh, Benny,
Oh, I get
I-
it. But I also went to his other one. It was like, I was in the pool. I was in the pool. That's not the one we're talking about
No,
here.
that's not the one.
No, I know. I'm just making sure everyone's clear. So
We're talking about the day that he does exactly opposite everything he thinks he's supposed to do.
yes.
So
And
at
that's a
the
great episode.
right at the beginning of the day, he has no job, he has no girlfriend, he's living in his parents' basement. The end of the day, he has a girlfriend, apartment, and he works for the New York Yankees.
Yep.
So I pull the George Costanza when I feel like I'm doing it too much of pattern.
Well, first and foremost, and the audience knows this, it's the awareness, right? Yeah, you gotta, and we are riddled with so many distractions and so much stuff going on. All right, we just jumped into the conversation. I was going to totally introduce you professionally. I'm like, you know what, love? Let's go. Let's jump in. I want people to know who you are. Hang on a minute. And Jennifer Urezzio, yay, is the founder of Soul Language. And there is a beautiful message. And I know, Benny, you're totally clapping. Founder of Soul Language, a paradigm that puts tangibility to soul. So a conscious connection can be established to enable crystal clear decisions for success. That right there is all I really need to say, because seriously, but I'm going to keep going on. But Jennifer is also a master intuitive and the author of 2 best-selling books. Currently, she has trained over 20 practitioners worldwide in soul language. At this time, there are over 5,000 individuals all over the world connecting to their soul language. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Yay!
And let's do a quick shout out to Miss Lisa for connecting us. Thank
Love
you.
the Lisa.
Yes, love my Lisa, my soul sister. Love it. Okay. Formal bio. Let's get to know Jennifer. Where did this all come from? How did it start? Let's get to know you. And then I'm sure within all of that, we're going to get to the definition of soul language and break that down so people understand what that is. Because I'm a lawmaker.
You're a lawmaker. So I, about 15 years ago, I was asking these big questions. Like, I know that there's something bigger inside of me. I'm really angry. Where are my people? And I know what my life purpose is, but what do I do with that funny little title? So my life purpose is I'm a powerful healer and teacher of service in the spotlight. Really great title, but how do we make that tangible? And so a mentor of mine and a friend of mine asked me to speak at our conference. She's like, there's going to be plenty of speakers. Don't worry, you come. You talk about essential oils and life purpose. And so I get there. There's nobody but her and me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walk off the stage and people are lined up going, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? And I was like, yeah, totally. Not sure how I know, but I know. And I just started taking on clients right there in bed. And
Wow.
at like dinner, this woman sat down next to me and went, we are going to be friends. And I was like, totally. And then my inside voice, which is a little warrior sometimes, went, why her? And not this woman across the way that I don't care if I ever see her again. What is that? And again, God, that's what I call my higher power. Where are my people? Because I'm really mad. And I'm on a massage table asking all these big questions, covered in mud. This is really important. Covered in mud. And I'm like, you know what, God, I'm really mad. Where are my people? Why do I like that person, not this person? And what I hear was, oh, that's soul language. And I was like, get me a pen. And the woman's like, what? I was like, get me a pen now. Because all of this information kept coming down through. And before long, I had this way to put silly human words to what we know deep down inside. And when the human has a way to connect with that soul, there's a bridge that happens, and there's a translation that happens. And then our humanness, our pain, our suffering, our sorrow, our programming can decide and make the choice to listen to soul. And before long, I had this paradigm that puts 3 core energies to our soul, 3 core categories. We all have 3 languages. Your mission, how you fuel that mission, and then your soulful personality. And then I can give a one-liner to every soul and every business soul on this planet. And that becomes our mild marker of consciousness. If we're not being and doing that, we're going to create suffering. And lucky for you and me, Sue, our suffering is very subtle and sneaky, which is the worst kind, right? So that takes even more dedication to listening, right? And
Yes.
so my one-liner for my soul is I create balance for myself and others through love, integrity, and courage. And if I'm not being or doing that, I'm going to create suffering. So here's a really cool part of that story. So a couple of years goes by, and I'm starting to identify people, and I talked to this person who knows nothing about soul language, knows nothing about the 107 core energies of soul. And I identify her, and I go, okay, so one is your soul language, it's called partner. How does that resonate with you? She said, before I got on the phone, I asked myself, if Jennifer asked me my soul language, what would it be? She said, I wrote down the word partner. And I burst out hysterically crying. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? I was like, yeah, you just told me I'm not crazy.
Oh.
And I hear the same thing all the time. Oh my God, you put words to what I know deep down inside. Oh my God, I can accept this. Oh my God, now I can hear direct guidance. And so that's how soul language came into being. And that's how I moved from being in marketing and PR to living and having a delivery system for my purpose.
Did you guys hear that? A delivery system for her purpose. And with soul language, that's exactly what she's facilitating for you. And that clarity, folks, that clarity, you've heard me say this, that clarity is the gas pedal to your universal energies, to your God, to your Gus, to your chopsticks, whatever that looks like to you. So there is quite a bit of validity and power in, and I use the word power in a loving way always. But that gives you your personal power, your personal love. It's like a navigation system, right? It's like, oh, okay. Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? What is my soul language, right? And let's go from there. So you talked about 107 different energies of the soul. Is that the right language? Okay. Do you want to jump into that, or do you want to talk about, we could use me as an example as the lawmaker, the different kinds, whatever you would like to do. I'm going to let you intuit through this, because I know I can feel some energies of questions with the audience, but I'm going to let you run with what you want to do.
So we'll start with you, because I think that's fun, because your people know you, right? Right. And so you're a lawmaker, and we identified the category that's all about how you'll be known here. So when people think of you, they think of you as someone who can create structures, laws, and guidelines that create peace. So that's your external perception of that. The internal is going, okay, what laws, what structures, what belief am I creating for my own peace or against it, right? And so if you were having a situation where you were in some sort of struggle, you can make that conscious connection with that part of your soul and go, okay, lawmaker, what's happening here? What law or what is my belief that's actually creating struggle? And then you can work with your soul to help your humanness come into alignment. So a couple things. One, your soul is never having a dark night of the soul. Your soul is never crying. Your soul is never dying. None of that. your soul is whole and complete. It's your humanness that is not in alignment with that. And so when we identify a person's soul languages, and we have three: your mission, the lawmaker for you, which is how you'll be known here, and then your soulful personality. When we identify that, we identify a system and a way for you to connect to your wholeness and completeness, so you can get the human on board with that wholeness and completeness. And
let's get the humans on board. Bring it, sister. I love
right.
it.
So one of my favorite questions for clients is, if I knew I was whole and complete, what would I be and what would I do in this situation? So unbeknownst to me, well, as I asked that, my soul popped in, because I had a situation before I got on the phone. And what I heard was, oh, you just be okay with it, right? And the human goes, but no, I don't want to be okay, because it means that I'm not of value and I'm not loved and that I'm not enough. And we're on radio, so I can't say what I'm thinking, right? But that's all really well experienced and well created lies. The truth is, you're whole and complete. You get to choose to experience that and to know that internally, or you get to make the choice that you're not. And it's not that you're not, it's just that you feel like you're not. So soul language helps you come back into that wholeness and completeness.
Let's go back, because what you just did, you gave them an option and a permission. You gave them the hope. Listen, guys, we're giving you a pair of glasses, a navigation system, an opportunity. And permission slip just keeps flashing in my head. Just boom, 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 boom. You all have the choice. You have the choice to make the changes. You have the choice to listen to your inner guidance. And Jennifer's here with, I'm sorry, how many other practitioners you've got? Over 5?
There's 5,000, there's plus 5,000 people know their soul languages. There's about 30 practitioners all over the world using soul language within their sacred work.
And knowing that, audience, again, knowing their sacred work, and do you hear the language that she's using? And this is an opportunity for you to show up in your life and how that presents itself. It's, again, the navigation system, but more than that, yes, you've got the foundation, but then she's also going to compile and give you questions to ask moving forward. For example, is this whole and complete to me? That was it was, if I am whole and complete.
Right. What would I be? What would I do?
What would I be and what would I do? That right there. Okay, we're done with the radio show. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
like really, seriously, if you want to practice one sacred practice, that is one sacred thing you can do every day. Right. If I knew I was whole and complete, what would I do and what would I be in this situation? Or what would I express? What would I say? Blah, blah, blah. Right. That question is, I have warrior energy. So my personal soul languages are, my mission is as an equalizer. It's all about balance for myself and others. How I'll be known here as teacher of integrity. So all of my life, I've been able to see where people lie, right? People are out of that consciousness of love, right? When people are like lying to me, I'm like, can you not, like, I know, right? And then the third, how my soulful personality, how my soul prefers to go through life, is as a graceful warrior. Action, movement, courage, and grace. But still, most of my life at war with everything. So imagine.
Well, define at war, because that's contracted energy. Yeah, let's define that so it gives people the awareness, right? Yeah. Fear, contraction, all that. Yeah.
So imagine being in corporate America for a second and asking for a pen from like a colleague, and then they go, "Why are you so aggressive?" Yeah. I'm like, really? Because I just asked for a pen. But my energy was fight, fight, fight. I felt like I had to fight for everything. For what I wanted, for what I was receiving, for my value, for the underdog. I was so great at managing below. I was so bad at managing above, because I would be like rallying and championing my team. And I would not be able to, smooth talk the higher aboves, because I was like, yeah, you guys are wrong. Very black and white, very black and white.
And they really liked hearing that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they love that. Right? But now, understanding that consciousness of that graceful warrior, I know that I never ever need to fight for anything. That I can use that courage and determination for creation and manifestation. So, you know, we do a lot of noise pollution with the universe, right? There's good noise pollution, good in quotes, and bad in quotes. So good noise pollution is, it propels you from taking the intangible to the tangible of what you want. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I am so happy and grateful that today is a day of freedom and joy. Bad noise pollution is something that you think you want, but it's a pattern and a repeat in your head. Like, oh my God, I really hope that I get a new client today. Oh my God, I really hope that I can get a new client today, right? Right? You can feel just the difference in energy in those two statements.
Oh, totally.
Right? So by tuning into your soul, you can help create more good noise pollution than bad noise pollution. As warrior energy, as conscious warrior energy, what's really good about conscious warrior is I declare and people feel like it is so. So I'll give you a tangible example. So Warner, who's the love of my life, said we were talking about something and I was like, yeah, no, I think it's blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I know that it's not. He goes, but you say it with such fierceness that I have to go look it up.
Yes.
That's that declaration, right? And so now I make it conscious, right? So I declare my goodness. I don't have to fight for it. I declare. But I wouldn't have been able to come into that alignment without understanding my soul language, because I didn't know that that had, for lack of a better term, a title or a structure. I didn't know that that was a core energy of me. I just thought everyone was like that. And I didn't understand why they got what they wanted and I didn't. And I remember, Sue, the moment that I healed this, I was getting coffee and this guy sat down next to me and we started talking. And I was like, yeah, well, I have warrior energy. And he went, that's so cool. And inside I went, whoa, I healed it. Look, the external is happening, right? Right? But here's the thing. It was a yay moment, but it also felt like total acceptance, meaning I didn't really need the confirmation because I was no longer looking outside of myself for validation. And when you have that connection process, it allows you to look inward first rather than external. And the internal landscape is what creates the external experience.
Oh, completely. So many beautiful things there, and lots of things are popping out. You spoke to core energy, you spoke to creation and manifestation, and versus the contracted energy and all of that too. And I think that that's really important. And yes, if you want to change a culture, define that culture, professional or personal, it all has to start with inside. It all does. So when you are ready, the teacher will appear, right? When you're ready, and you'll hear different conversations. Maybe it'll be a conversation you overhear at a coffee shop. Maybe it's a song that pops up and you're like, oh, that's right. Or I got to call so-and-so. Listen to those little bubbles of guidance. Listen to this radio show. Listen to Jennifer. Hey, listen to Benny and his, all of it, right? There's messages in all of it, and paying attention to that and honoring who you are through that journey. I've got lots of things I want to talk about, but before we do that, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to the radio world in about 3 minutes. If you're on YouTube, join us over there. We're going to chit chat with Jennifer a little bit more. We'll talk to you guys in just a minute.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite.
Yeah!
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Brilliant.
That was brilliant. How did you find that so quickly?
YouTube's got it all.
Because that's him. That is absolutely Benny. That's amazing. I love this conversation. Core energy. So what I would like to do, I mean, obviously YouTube world, hi, thank you for joining us, and say hi to Jennifer. We are going to go back to live radio and we're going to have a deeper conversation about what it looks like when we're doing a session with Jennifer, or any of her 30 odd practitioners that she has personally trained, within the conversation of what your soul's telling you, how you're going to facilitate that, what that looks like. I'm curious too. Yes, I have the translation and the lawmaker, and I'm still unpacking it and I am integrating it and aligning it with aspects of my life, and it's changing the new patterns and the new, based on that. And I will come back and have a full session with you. I've got to get that in there too, because I'm totally curious of how this all kind of unfolds, right? And I'm super curious about that. Let me remind everybody here on the YouTube world, your website and social media. Obviously, it's soullanguage.com. You can go there, and that's correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer, that's the main company, or is it
soullanguage.us is the main thing.
Okay. And then you had another company that you were referring to in here as well, right?
My spiritual lessons from the dogpark.com.
Yeah, I thought I saw something on your bio. Soul Language US. Okay. www.soullanguage.us. To all of you in the YouTube world, make sure you go and check out all of her great, juicy, free goodies on there too. And a lot of really good information. Parent company. Oh, Blooming Grove Soul Language parent company in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was the original. I used to make bath and body products.
Ah!
Yeah, I can look at
essential oil. Are we going back in? Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, sorry. You got it covered though?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to live where soul meets body.
Consciousness is practical. Be intentional about your own consciousness. Intentional. Yes. Intimacy. There's language that pops up when I hear that, and language that I say. It's intimacy when I'm coaching or talking or promoting. It's intimacy on a whole new level from all different aspects of your life. Yeah. And intimacy across the board. Intimacy. Like the what about Mary conversation earlier. Or the intimacy that you have with the love of yourself and the internal dialogue, the internal conversation, the internal learning that you get. You simply can't keep looking to the outside.
You can, but it will just be painful.
I was going with, it's exactly it. I was going back to, you want butterflies or grizzly bears, you can keep looking externally and getting advice, getting opinions. A lot of them are opinions, not advice. Opinions based on other people's journey and or experiences, other triggers, whatever it is. So I and Jennifer would suggest going in and figuring that out for yourself. And Jennifer's got a phenomenal tool to help you do that. And that's learning about your soul, quite honestly, and frankly, and practically.
Yeah.
So before the break, you were so articulating the creation and manifestation, excuse me. You also talked about core energy. I'd like to do that. And I'd also like to just, Jennifer, unpack what it would look like for somebody to have a reading. Because the audience, I can hear them going, well, what does that mean? What is she going to do? She's going to tell me about my soul. Then how do I apply that in my life? Which you've given some examples, but I just want to reiterate that so the audience can really noodle on it. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Okay, love.
So, from the beginning of time, I used to have this friend in high school who I would come in, he was 6'2", and his head would be underneath the desk and his feet would be out. And I'd be like, Stuart, what are you doing? He's like, he goes, I need a desk. And he needed a place where he felt safe and comfortable. And he would put his head, I know, it was so sad. And he would put his head underneath the desk, but everyone just needs a desk. And everyone wants to understand what their place is in the world and what they're here and what their purpose is.
Yeah.
And that information is all in your soul. And I think that what people fall down about is that they think that their purpose is externally first, and it's really not. And so that first category of understanding your mission here is really about understanding what you are here, profoundly here to experience, and then offer that experience to others. And it has nothing to do if you're a coach or a speaker or a writer or an artist or, a businessman or an entrepreneur. That's not what it is. Those are all delivery systems. But until you understand that big, profound purpose within, you're going to feel like you keep searching. So that's what that first category is about. The second category is really about how you show up, how you'll be known here. I always used to, I stopped saying this, but I used to go, when you die, it's the words people describe at your funeral, right? Right? I stopped using it, but you really want, but
Yeah.
if you really want a great kind of tool to like shift your life, write your own obituary,
Eulogy.
right?
Yeah.
So it's those words that people will use about you in conversation. So my language in that is called teacher of integrity. So people often use, well, Jennifer, your words and actions always measure up, right? We know that when you say this, it's going to get done. When I do anything, whether it's logging on a website or entering a new community, I'm the person that finds all the glitches because I just help naturally things come into integrity. Right? So that's what that second category is all about. The third category is really about your soulful personality. It's really about your soul's preferences. We judge our preferences all the time.
What? That's news to me.
I know.
What?
Right? So that category is also where ego spends a lot of time, kind of ego on crack, spends its a lot of time trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Right. So my category, my soul language in that category is called graceful warrior, right? Action, movement, courage, and grace. And so if I prefer to go through life, right, speaking the truth, activating courage in myself and others, being in the favor of God, that's what I call my higher power. And that's what grace means, in the favor of God. And going, okay, so how can we make this graceful? How can we champion this? Right? How can we be brave about this? Right? So when I was younger, one of the things I remember saying a lot about people was, oh my God, he has no courage. I can't possibly date him. He has no courage. He has no strength. Right? Right? So when we accept our preferences, when we don't rally against them, that allows us to put more neutrality into everything we do.
Ooh, what pops up for me, and I use this, and I coined it, and I love it. It's the CCs in life, compassionate curiosity, because it takes that sting. It's similar to what you're saying, right?
Right.
Love
You're in
that.
a relationship with everything on this planet. And most of the things that you're in relationship with on this planet don't have free will. So they operate on your will. Money, your career, operate on your will, right? And so if you're
Audience, did you guys hear that? It operates on your will. You have the choice. I wanted to make sure I put a pin in that one. Yes.
And so if you're putting pain and struggle, it's going to operate that way.
Yep.
So when I work with someone, listen, the identification is not a test you fill out. It's not a quiz. We do it by an energetic connection. So a practitioner's body becomes the pendulum on that person's soul. And it's an energetic connection. It can be done anywhere. We don't need to be in person. And then that person's soul moves our body down a testing sheet. And that's how we identify the soul languages. And so you can't throw it. You can't, I mean, I'm smart. I can answer a quiz anyway. I know what the right answer is, right? And so you're not going to get two different identifications from different practitioners, right? And then we talk, or we create a conscious connection with each one of your soul languages in a session, and we work out real, tangible problems by talking to your soul and shifting your energy, right? And then you utilize it in everyday life, anything from your elevator speech to a situation that you're having with a relationship, because you're going to tune into your soul for the answers, to what do you create in business?
Mm.
It becomes an everyday practical tool. And what I love about it is yes, we want the sacred time where we sit down and we consciously connect, right? But you can use it, you can connect to your soul in the supermarket. You can connect to your soul on the way to pick up your kids, right? And so it creates this conscious connection. So you're always in reach of the answer from your soul. So you never feel alone. And you always feel like you're being supported and provided for because you are.
And I think it's important. I know it's important to trust and have belief in that, surrender into that trust. And I say that wholeheartedly because I walk the talk, meaning even if you don't know what the heck's on the other side of said bridge, fall into that trust, fall into that love of yourself, and just have the trust. And anything that you're going to be working through, I use my words delicately here, it's an opportunity for you to learn and to gain wisdom. Again, going back to having the compassionate curiosity for yourself, right? Because that's grace and ease versus control, contraction, force, all of that. And you know what? Ask yourself the question, audience, do you want to be in control and contracted and angry and resentful? Or do you want to be in love and grace and ease?
Right. And knowing that if you choose not to, that's okay too. Like I think so often people judge that they don't have trust or they don't have enough faith, and faith and trust are active participations, right? And so you can choose at any time to go, okay, I'm going to feel safe in the unknown here, because that's what trust is about. It's about knowing that you're safe in the unknown. So, Sue, do you want to hack for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, go girl.
So your body nobody has free will, meaning our physical body does not have free will. If everything works and we ask it to raise its hand, it's not going to go, you know what, Jen, I don't feel like doing it today. Why don't you get back to me tomorrow? It doesn't have that ability, right? So we're going to use your body to put you in trust, even if you've never felt it before, because your body knows that consciousness level.
Okay, wait, I gotta remind the audience, or did you guys hear what she said? Even if you don't know what trust feels like, and that was a question I was going to ask, even if you feel that you have made choices that you still don't feel that you can't trust, it's still a learning experience, and she's going to help you with that right here, right now. I had to just put a pin in there.
Okay. And if you're driving, please do not do this.
No.
Okay.
YouTube world, yes.
Okay, so you want to close your eyes. You want to get on my bus, meaning I might use words that you don't understand. You just want to get on the bus with me. Ready? Okay, here goes. Divine intelligence. Fill my body. With the feeling and knowing. And the experience. Of divine trust. Then, right. Then Sue, because that says it all.
I'm like, my body's going. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. You're recalibrating your energy. So are you, which way are you circling?
This way. I'm like.
Okay, so like, listen, I don't do math or directionals. So is that left or right?
It's what way is that?
That's clockwise, right?
Clockwise.
Okay.
I'm like, can you see my hand?
Yeah.
Benny, we need a third part here. I'm
Throwing clockwise, Benny.
Got you
Great.
right here. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, so that is rebalancing your energy. If you were going counterclockwise, you'd be releasing toxins. Okay, so you want to come back into energy. You want to come back into alignment. So trust, then, you know now, trust puts you back into alignment, back into your connection in a deeper way.
Can we just stay here in this soup of yummy juiciness?
Totally. You can take it with you, right? Right. So you ask your body to keep this alignment throughout the day. And then if you're noticing, you just ask to put yourself back in.
Put myself right back in. I'm riding that bus. Yes, I've got some aligning to do. My body's It's doing its thing right now. So I'm in grace and ease and surrender and loving her and doing my thing.
Okay, so here's another cheat for that in a good way.
Oh,
So you can use your divine intelligence to say this. Repeat after me. Divine intelligence,
divine intelligence,
where there's pain,
where there's pain,
where there's distress
where there's distress
in my body,
in my body,
there's now only love.
there's now only love.
And I-
Bathing me.
Yeah, and I yawned because that was a release of energy. And if
Yeah.
you notice, Sue, when you spoke, your voice was clearer.
Yep. Yep. Totally. I love this stuff. I love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yes. I'm very conscious of what my 3D humanness is going through. Emotion wise and stuff,
Yeah.
the stuff. So I'm just allowing her to be in there and releasing it. But yeah, definitely. So I got to get back into my 3D here. So Jennifer, I want to remind everybody about how they can get a hold of you. You've got a podcast and you've also got some free gifts. Soul Language, the website. So it's Soul Language US, guys. And all that information is going to be on my website and of course on all the social media posts. And if you guys go to Instagram, you'll see right up in my main header up on top. You can click on there and go straight to our live radio program and then also the podcast after we are live. And Jennifer, you've got a free gift. You can go to soullanguage.us/sacred practice. Again, www.soullanguage.us/sacred practice. That is going to be yummy. Why do we need sacred practice?
Listen, if you wanted to have a relationship with someone and you just ignored them all the time and then just sent them a text every once in a while, it wouldn't be a great relationship, right? So sacred practice allows you to create a structure that you can connect with your higher self and your division, your higher power, which is your divinity, whatever that is. And it doesn't have to be hours. I don't like to sit, I don't meditate. Perfect. Like my body doesn't like it. And people are like, you should meditate and clear the mind. I was like, yeah, no, I'm a warrior. We like to move. Right. And so when you have a sacred practice that works with your own particular lifestyle and what you need, then you can connect and you can receive divine guidance from your soul and whatever you call your higher power. So you need that time to process and think and ask questions and receive support and sit in the love and the goo of the divine. If you don't have a structure for that, you're going to be rushing through life.
Did you hear that? Sitting in the goo of the divine, the soup, the quantum soup, right? Talk to me about, yes, we have soul language. Talk to me about mindset, the mindset, and it keeps popping up. So some reason we're supposed to be having that conversation. How let's apply that to what we're doing with. Yeah.
So I think that I was reading this book where it was a great book, and she had some anxiety. It was a fiction book, and she's like, "I'm so happy for mindset because now I can choose to be happy." Right. So mindset is actually one of the things that people kind of trip themselves up about a lot, right? Because I think that they think, oh, if I just could change my mindset, then my patterns would be broken, right? But you have to change your patterns on a cellular level. So being mindful, being aware about what you're doing is so supportive because then you can go, oh, I don't like that decision I keep making. Then let's change it. And you can work with the mind and the heart to create new patterns. So before you do any mindset work, you really want to align your heart and your mind. So I have a real simple hack for that. So it's divine intelligence.
Divine intelligence.
Allow my mind.
Allow my mind.
To follow my heart.
To follow my heart.
And then from there, you can make a new mindset decision, right?
Mm.
Like your mind just wants to keep you safe, right? It just wants things to chase, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Based on old patterns, right?
Right. So
Well,
I
that
always,
happened to me. It's going to happen again.
of course, right? And so I always go, okay, so if we want to create a new mindset, let's give the mind something to chase. So why don't you allow everyone listening for the next week for your mind to keep chasing how you are enough?
Mm.
So you're going to see, feel, hear, understand in everyday conversation in every moment of your life how you're enough. Give your mind to chase that. And then make decisions based on that mindset versus pain and struggle.
I love that. And every W that you see, worthy. Think,
Love it.
yeah, like women's bathroom, worthy.
I love it.
I know, right? And if it doesn't feel truly in alignment, true, because this is an important conversation as well, that you're working towards it because you want to get to that point where it truly is anchored in and aligned. You can say, I am so thankful that I'm working towards my worth. I feel it and I love you. You know, it's that just a little change in language that helps
Yeah.
solidify that.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I always also tell clients that you're willing. I am willing to experience my worth today.
Oh, I am willing to experience my worth today. I am willing to experience that chocolate chip cookie all up in my grill.
Okay, Sue, I am so hungry. Sue, I am so hungry. And I do not have a break until 2.
Oh, honey, where's your love? He's got to bring you some food.
He's in
Oh,
Pennsylvania working.
oh, honey. Well, hugs there.
Thank you.
And it's a distant hug, even though, oh my gosh, you guys, we are learning so much. All right, let me check time. Okay, we've got a good chunk of time left, Jennifer. Soul language, paradigm that puts tangibility to the soul so the conscious connection can be established to enable crystal clear decision making. And your one-liners. There's this whole big buzzword, Jennifer, about, oh, what's my soul's purpose and what's my purpose, even if you leave soul out of there. But what is my purpose? What am I, people get so rattled in the 3D mindset that there's a lot of contraction and worry and fear and all of that. Let's have that conversation to kind of soften up that blow. Go.
And I want everyone listening to know that they're already being their purpose.
Yes.
Okay. And that they've been being their purpose since the moment that they're born. Yes. They haven't acknowledged that purpose, or they're feeling a disconnect with their delivery system. I was being my purpose in corporate America. I was the answer girl. People would come up from everywhere to the office and go, do you know? And I'd be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know how I know that, but I know it. And they would go and check and they would come back and they were like, oh my God, you're totally right. And I was like, okay, right? Answer girl.
Yeah.
I want everyone just to kind of practice over the next couple of days to see and hear how they're being their purpose. And so a couple aspects of sacred purpose are, what are the things that you keep talking about with others? Like, what are the things that people keep coming to you for? Like, what is the root of that? Not like, what is the doing, right? So one of the things that people always come to me for is because they want to have courage to move on, right? That's not a doing. That's my vibrational thing. That's what mission's about. It's about the being state versus the doing. Couple of questions about mission also is here's one of them. What is the one thing you want to experience and everyone else to experience on this planet? And people are going to get the big ones, love, peace, and they're going to go, how can that be a purpose? It is. You just have to understand your energetic thread of that big theme. And then we can start to determine the delivery systems, right? But people try to do it backwards.
The delivery system.
Coach, author, business person, teacher, all those are delivery systems. They're not your purpose. I would be talking about connection as a bartender. Stinky delivery system for me, but I would be talking about connection. I have been in Russia and people come up to me and in Russian tell me their greatest secrets. And I was like, energetically, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how to explain. Like,
yes,
and I just offer them love,
Yes.
right? Like a connection. It's always about connection for me.
And
Right.
wait, guys, did you guys hear that? All you have to do, really, offer love. Offer love for yourself, and then offer love for whoever's in front of you, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right. Offer, not send it. So in healing
that's a big
circles,
discernment right there too, right?
yeah,
Offer.
in healing circles, they'll go, I'm sending you love. Or people will go, I'm praying for you. And I'll go, yeah, what are you praying about? Because I haven't asked you. Right.
The
Like,
permission.
right. It's all about permission. When you offer it, people can scoop it up or they can let it drop.
Yeah.
But it's up for them. And free will is our greatest gift. Right. And so
Oh,
we want to value that every moment.
and I that is such an important conversation. And I was talking to another energy facilitator, and I said, are you asking permission? You know, are you asking permission of that soul, that human being? You got to ask me permission before you start doing some energy work on me. And I, as a trained practitioner as well, I will ask the 3D person, and then I will also ask when they have given me, you can feel it too. They'll be like,
Totally.
yeah, I do. I give
Yeah.
you permission. And you're like, oh no. But when you have, and then you kind of got to work through that a little bit, and then energetically and within the soul, you can, then you go into that layer and then ask permission and opening your heart. It's grace and ease. It's all with love, but always ask permission. And that's a good message across the board, regardless if it's an energy practitioner or a soul or psychic or, you know, evidential mediumship, intuitive, whatever that is.
Or just giving
permission.
advice. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I so agree. Absolutely. And, you know, this popped up, and I don't know, well, it's 54. We've got a few more minutes. And this is just in general how I show up, how I communicate, how I talk, my integrity, my language, because that's how I represent. Where I'm going with this, Jennifer, is I had somebody say to me, well, are you showing up, because we were in a conversation, are you showing up as the coach or as Sue? And I'm like, for me, that's not really any difference, but I will ask, and I will ask, are you wanting to vent off? Are you wanting some feedback? Are you wanting me to mirror anything for you? That's all me and Sue. Just because I have the title, which and I've got the education of the coaching aspect, it's not that I'm showing up one particular way. It is who I am, because that's how I'm operating.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. There's also a ritual that we create as a metaphysical, facilitator, right? That takes it evolution. But because we hear, and because people just leak their energy, right? We kind of just do what we do, and it's about setting the stage, I think, sometimes. And, you are who you are. You can't be someone else. The way you pack your suitcase is the way you do everything else, right?
Oh, I love that. The way you pack your suitcase is the way you do everything else. We got a couple more minutes. And I remember, I've got 3 grown daughters, and I remember that conversation with her, and she's just like, Mom, why can't you be like every other mom? And I'm like, I love you, right. But
Aren't
you wanted me in this lifetime, sweetheart. Love you.
And I bet she's glad now that you're not like every other mom.
We're working on that. Yes. All right, love. We have about a minute left. Is there anything that you would like to part with as we go?
I want everyone to remember today that they're whole and complete. Even if there's a little part of you, tune into that little part and let that little part lead the show.
You are whole and complete. I am whole and complete. And that's what the warrior said. So it's got to be it. Oh, Jennifer, really. Oh, what an absolute treat. I am so, so thankful that we got connected.
Thank you. I'm so honored.
Really,
Thank you so
much. You feel that, right? You really feel that. I know.
Remember? Intuitive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, completely. And I can still remember our conversation. Okay. Let me know if there's anything else. I'd love playing and having this conversation. So, of course, I would love to have you back again. And I mean,
I'd be honored.
Yeah,
I'd be honored.
It'd be so fun. With that, you guys, we're going to wrap it up for the day. For the podcast world, please give us 5-star. For the YouTube world, give us a 5-star. Let's do a 5-star across across the board. Sue Lundquist here with the Gratitude Cafe. I love you guys. Thank you so much for trusting in me and everybody that comes here to play with us. And until next time, each of you are a gift. Get out there and share yourself with